everyone, this is Lori from the Crafting Auntie coming back to you with another part of this project of doing a fabric journal. And what we did on the last video was we made a second tag to create this page here. Has a little charm on it that says travel. It's made out of Tim Holtz Fabrics, and then these are digitals from Etsy that I got. So off camera, I made a second smaller set of tags using again Tim Holtz fabric and stitching here along all the fabric, and also stitching around some of the pieces here and around the tags. So that is what we have here. So this one I'm thinking is going to go inside here, but I'm not sure yet. Off camera, I had just showed you what I had cut. So since then I have embossed with white embossing powder, and I have used a couple of the stamps from the Tim Holtz stamp set, which is, let me take it out of the package so you can see better. It is called On the Railroad CMS 127. So I used this one. You can't really see it. Let me move it. I used this one and I used this one. And I just used white embossing powder onto the actual fabric. And then I put the layers of jean fabric, the right side facing up, so it'll peek out through here. And then a little piece of packaging, which was actually a FedEx envelope that is the Tyvek, and then also the Tim Holtz fabric on the inside. I then stitched around all of this piece here. I stitched the fabric onto the denim before I actually put all this together, and I did some stitching here and here just to add some character. Added a couple other pieces here, and then stitched around the whole thing twice, so you can see kind of the stitching here all the way around it a couple of times, trying to do a little bit messy stitching. And then this will go inside here. I'm not sure exactly which way they're going to go, but so far we have this. So today what I want to do is I want to create another page. And in that page, I have cut, let me grab all this stuff over here. Have a template that I cut out a couple of tabs out of just craft cardstock, kind of heavy cardstock. And I have another digital. This one is of vintage maps. So I want to put this on one side. On the other side, I want to put this one on each one. And then I have this fabric, and I have this fabric that I want to cut a piece after I get these covered to see how big I need to have the piece, and then these will get stitched together, and that will be the spine part. In addition to that, I have some gears here that I want to add to this on the front cover, and I think I kind of want the placement about like so. So before I get started with all of this, I'm going to go ahead and use my Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac, whatever it is that you have. This happens to be Fabrifix. They're pretty much close to the same thing. So I'm going to glue these on, and then that way they can be drying. These are some I got, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. These are plastic ones. They're not metal. They were the right color I needed, and so I thought it was perfect to add to this. So I'm just adding the glue, placing them where I want them, and then we'll just let it dry. I thought it just would add something a little bit more railroad, having the gears and stuff from, if you see a train going down, there's all kinds of stuff on the side of the train and the train wheels that it has, and I just thought this went pretty well. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to do that here. So we've got that now. And then also I have this one, which is a button, and I want to sew the button on here, and that'll be eventually, we'll wind around. I haven't figured out yet what the closure is going to be out of as far as what's going to tie this up, but I want to use this button on here. So for now, I'm just going to let that sit there. I'm going to move this aside and let this dry. And then we'll cover my two file folders. They're kind of like file tabs. I think it was like an index card or a piece of a file tab, and I thought it was pretty good. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and use that. So the first thing I want to do is I want the train on here, and I want to make sure that I'm getting all of it. So I'm going to trace around this with a pencil. And then I'll cut it out. So one side will have trains on it, and the other side is going to have the vintage looking map. I just thought it went so well together. So there's that one. And I want them to be opposite, so that way when we make them into a page. So this one's going to go right to the edge. So we'll just trace around this side and around, and then up this end. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these two out. Okay, I got these cut. The first thing I want to do is I do want to ink around them. So let me do that. I'm using walnut stain. Just going to ink around the edges. And I'm going to go ahead and ink around this as well, mostly on the edge, just so that it doesn't show through as just plain cardstock. Just give it a little inking on the edge. And we'll do this one. Okay, and the edge on this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. So I've got this one, the tab that way, this one with the tab this way. I'm just going to use art glitter glue for that. Making sure I get all the way to the edge so that it seals nicely. And if there's anything hanging over, I can always trim it off. So line this up and make sure it's lined up. And then it does need some trimming. So let me just let this dry a little bit, and we'll do this one, same thing, and then we'll do the trimming. It's okay if there's a little excess there. It's hard to get it exactly the right size, especially when you're tracing around it. It's going to be just a little bit larger, even though I cut it a little bit shorter, it wasn't quite enough. So we will just take care of that. And that on, make sure it's straight. Get any excess glue. And then we'll trim these up a little bit. that. And trim around this. Clean that up a little bit. All right. And a little bit here on the side. We'll just clean that up. Now it looks like this, and we can re-ink them again too, just to make sure that everything has got some distress ink on the edge. I'm enjoying doing this fabric journal, and again I was inspired by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies and by Suzy Shabby Soul. Both of them inspire me, and I just love the ideas of making these. They're little smaller journals. They're not real big, which is nice because, you know, they don't all have to be large, and a lot of the ones that I have made have been large, so it's kind of fun doing something that's a lot smaller. So I'm going to just ink around this again. Give it a little bit more vintage look here, where we did the trimming. Now they look pretty good, much better. Okay, now for the back side, I'm going to just turn these over, and I'm going to glue on the map kind of where I want it. It's going to be kind of hard to do, but I want to make sure I'm capturing the pieces that I want. So I think I'm going to start with this left side, and I'm going to put the glue all over the card. Trying to get the corners and the edges. Oops. And then I'm going to kind of line it up where I want it. I want to make sure it's straight here. And then I'm going to come down straight here. Then I'm going to turn it over and make sure it's straight. So that's about where I want it. This will make it a lot easier, so I'll just cut around it. And this one, we'll do the same thing, and then we'll cut them both out. Oops. And right about there. I'll make sure I got that one straight as well. It's not straight at all, so let's straighten it out. Press it down really good, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. Looks good. I wanted to get that, kind of reminds me of like a train track or something going down there, so I wanted to capture that. Okay. and this side. All right. I take my smaller scissors and just kind of clean that up a little bit on this edge. There we go. That's much better. And let me clean this up a little bit. Okay. And I'll just ink around the edge again. Just like that. And on this side. And now we've got the map on this one side and then the train on the other side. Again, I will link these digitals below for you. Okay, so there's the one. Now let's go ahead and cut this one out. I'll use our smaller scissors. Oh yeah, much easier. These are Tim Holtz scissors and they are awesome. They're very comfortable to use and they cut very well. There's 3 sizes. I have all 3. One's even smaller than this one. I think it's like a 5-inch, a 7-inch, and I don't know, is that a 9-inch maybe? Something like that. But they are amazing. They work very well. If you have a Hobby Lobby near you, I have seen them there, or you can get them on Amazon. Okay, we almost got it. Okay, perfect. Just ink again around this, especially the edge. And the other side. So now we've got this map on this side. Okay, so we've got this now. And then we've got the map. So now we want to put these together. So let me just clear paper here, clean it up a bit so we can continue on. All right, so this is going to go like this. And I don't think I really have a preference whether the trains go inside or outside. Either way, if we did it like this, the trains would be on the outside this way. I think I kind of like that better. So the fabric I want to use is these 2. So what I want to do is take my book and I want these to go on the outside. So let's see, if I put the trains on the outside this way, and I want it to come out, just, it's peeking out a little bit. I'm totally fine with that. I'm gonna get the other side on. And then I'm gonna figure out my fabric. And you'll need 2 pieces, whatever size you're gonna use. And again, it doesn't have to be the same. I'm using different ones. I am going to go the full height. So I'm just going to cut a piece right about here. And then we'll figure out on this one how big we need to have it. So if I capture all of this to make sure it's even, then I will tear it right about here. So we have a piece like this. Doesn't look very straight here. Let's see. Just line it up and just trim it down a tad. Okay, much better. And then the other piece we'll just do off of this piece. So let me open this up. we will just use it right over here. This is Tim Holtz. This is Miranda. This one, I am not sure whose this is, if it is Tim Holtz or not. I don't have anything on here that's telling me it is, so I don't think so, but I could be wrong. All right, so let's see. I want to tear it right about there. And then tear it up here. And then I'll just tear off this edge right here. And now we have our two pieces. Make sure they're the right side up. So they will go like this, one this way and one this way. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I have this stitched. So now let's put our pieces on. I think I want this one to go over the top. I think this goes very well with that. And then this one will go underneath, and I think that will go with the other side very well. And we're just going to glue these on right onto the edge. So for that, I will use my Fabrifix or Fabritech, whatever it is you have, and add the glue here. And then glue that down. Whoops. So I'm going to line this up so I can get it straight. And then I turn it over and make sure I've got it lined up straight. That's better. Press it down. And then we'll do it on the opposite side. So on this side, I'm going to add the glue. And line this up with the other one, just to make sure it's straight and they're even. And I'm just going to make sure that this is all straight and that these are even. Let me just use a ruler to make sure. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So press these down really good. Make sure that they adhere well. And then we'll turn these over. And then let's put them around our other pieces, like this. It can go either way. Let's try it the other way too. I think I like it with the trains out. Let's see. So it would go about like that. And they would peek out. You line this up and line this one up better. And then fold it over, and then let's put it inside the cover. We'll see how we look. So yeah, see, I like the way those are peeking out. So I think that is perfect. And when these get stitched in, of course, they'll be in the proper place. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're bulking up pretty good. I think we need one more page. So we're going to do another one on the next video for Friday. And then we'll also, hopefully we'll have figured out what the closure will be as far as wrapping it around it. And I'll sew on the button as well. So that's it for today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this and give it a try. for more details, you can visit either Suzy Shabby Soul, which is, I think it's just Shabby Soul, but Suzy Hines, or Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, and they each have videos there. And I think I linked them before. I will link them again for you. Anyway, that's it for today. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video, and God bless you all. Bye!